Hi, Rimantas Petrauskas here, and you are watching my video series about 5 Forex scams used by providers of expert advisors, indicators, and trading signals. So now, today we will talk about scam number 1, and this is repainting indicators. So let's begin our presentation. So first, I will give you the facts that kind of explain the difference between repainting and non-repainting indicators. So repainting indicator means that it's an indicator which change its values. So when you see the new price ticks come in, the current price is always changing in the markets. So when the price change, the indicators change its values, kind of recalculates itself and always change. It's not always a bad thing, actually. So just keep on watching, and I will show you, the presentation, and I will show repainting indicators, explain how they work on my MetaTrader. But first, let's take a look at these facts so you could understand better. So non-repainting means that indicator does not change its values. It's kind of use price bars on its left to calculate indicator values. Now, it might sound confusing for most of you, but I will show that on my MetaTrader chart in just a moment. Also, non-repainting indicators do not change values on closed price bars. So if the price bar is closed, indicators should not change their values on those price bars, basically. And if they don't change it, those values, it's a non-repainting indicator. Non-repainting indicators do not change values on any bar if it's applied on open price bar, or if it's created in a way to use the open price for to calculate its value. So basically, if it uses open price for calculation of the indicator values, it should not repaint ever on any price bar. The next important thing to note is that all indicators repaint on current price bar if they use close, high, low prices to calculate its values. To put it in another way, if the indicator is created in such a way that it will use close, high, or low prices, any of those or all of those, it will always repaint itself while the current price bar is in the formation mode, kind of, until it's not closed. And I just want you to just look at my MetaTrader screen right now. So what I have here is my MetaTrader chart, and I will be using a few indicators to illustrate what I mean. And I will be using a strategy tester, which kind of, for those who don't know what that is, it's a special module in the MetaTrader platform, which allows me to simulate the trading of expert advisor or indicator and see how it would have performed on a certain range of prices. So basically, I will be using the data from 1st of September, and I will use an indicator, and I use period of 1 minute just to see the data come faster, basically. Okay, so here's the chart. Let me do a quick properties change. I will remove the grid so it would be visible easier, and I also zoom in. Here we go. So as you can see, I have these arrows. So for now, just ignore them. I will explain about them later. But basically what they show is that they show the crossover of these two moving averages. So the first moving average is applied on close price. It has period of 5, and the other one is also applied on close price and has a period of 6. So this is the current price bar. And if I allow the simulation to go on, I see that new price ticks come in, and this current price is information. But once it's closed, it will never change. Basically, each bar has its high, open, close, and low prices. And once it's done forming, those full prices will never change. So, or any indicator calculate based on this closed price bar should not change as well. Now the next bar that appears, this one is now called current price bar, and now this one is forming. So we can see its information now, and if we just resume the simulation, you can see that new price bars just keep forming and forming, and we always have this current price bar. And you can see that on this current price bar, our moving averages, kind of tails of these lines, will always move, they always change, because they are applied, those lines are calculated based on the close price of current, on close price of all these price bars. But because of a current price bar is forming, the close price, which is this one right here, it just keeps moving up and down, forming this bar. So when it keeps changing, our moving averages lines keep changing as well, but they will never change on any of those closed price bars. Now let me give you an example how it looks like when moving average is applied on the open price, which kind of never changes on any price bar, even on the current price bar. When open price is assigned, it will never change. So the red moving average now becomes our line that's applied on the open price. So we can see it just when simulation continues, it just never changes. It's static basically, but that yellow line keeps changing and changing and changing. But that's normal. If indicator changes on the current price bar, it's very, it's quite normal, and it's not a problem. And when people relate to the repainting indicators, they usually have in binary indicators that repaint itself, like changes their values and entry signals on any of those closed price bars. Now if we get back to our presentation, the next point tells us that repainting indicators can change its values or entry signals even on closed price bars. So they kind of use bars on the right to calculate values. And if we get back to our presentation, I want to show you another example. Now I will run a simulation, and I will be using the special trading panel called Trader in Chart, and I will apply that moving average crossover signal indicator. You kind of saw those errors in the previous example, but right now I will show what they are. So basically, when those moving averages cross each other, these lines will give us, these arrows will give us signals. So red signal means a cross happened in the downside, so we go short, and the green arrow means that average crossed to the upside and we need to go long, basically. So if you continue the simulation, we will see that a green arrow will be formed soon that will basically tell us to go long. Also, we need to wait until that price bar will close. Here we go. So this price bar was closed, and we have a long signal. So I will take this vertical line and will draw it right over there, which will tell me that there was a buy signal. And I will click buy, and when I continue the simulation, I should get a buy trade. Here we go. So I will wait until I get an opposite signal, which will be the red arrow. And once I get the red arrow and its bar is closed, I will click sell button, which will close my buy trade and open a sell trade. So it's kind of, I will go short, in other words. So let's wait a bit. Here we go. We have a short signal and this price bar is now closed. So the signal should not go away basically. And I will click sell. And when I continue the simulation, I see that my buy trade was closed and I opened a sell trade. But just a few bars later, I see that my sell signal disappeared because indicator, which is a bad repainting indicator actually, it saw that the sell signal was a false entry signal because a new buy signal was formed a few bars later, kind of a couple of bars later. And now this short signal is no longer valid and there was no point entering it. But we couldn't knew that at that moment. We just got a short signal and we took it. But now it tells me that I need to go long again. So I need to close this short trade and go long. And if I click buy once again and continue the simulation, I see my short trade now is closed in loss. And looking at these bars, I don't see any entry signal to go short basically. That was a false alarm basically. Okay, so I've got another sell signal and a bit too late to enter, but I will do that anyway. So I can do this all day long basically. I could go on and just watch these signals, but then we will see that some of those just disappear basically, and you are left with a false entry signal, which kind of turns your trading into a disaster and you get necessary losses and so on and so on. So let me close that for now. So let me pause the video a bit and I will get you with another example. I will get back in a moment. Okay, we're back and we see new entry signal to go short. I won't take this one for now. I will take this new buy signal. Okay, so we have a buy signal right over there. I click buy, continue the simulation. Which is what happened. What has happened? I saw the sell signal and then the buy signal again. Okay, so now I have a buy signal. Short signal, and a long signal is disappeared. So I take the short trade, and now I have a buy signal again. So I take the buy signal, and 1 bar later, that short signal disappeared. So as you can see, it makes all these things so complicated. You just never know which trading signal to take, as any of them can turn out to be a false entry signal. When you just look at these entry signals on the history, we can see that they are all looking nice. Just look at this short signal right over there, this long signal, then we have another nice short signal, and then a new long signal right over there. And as you can see, all these signals look so good, but they just look there because indicator uses price bars on the right to decide if that signal is false or not. So basically, when you get a trading signal over here, it will use, when we have enough of new price bars appear, it will recalculate and see if this was a false entry signal or not. And if it's a false entry signal, it will just disappear. So each of those signals will use kind of price bars on its right to recalculate and see if that trading signal is valid or not. So it's actually a very bad decision to go and trade Forex with such indicators like this one. And believe me, there are so many of them, and you just never know which one is a repainting indicator and which one is not repainting indicator. Now I have another indicator to show, and let's just take a look at this. 3-level ZZ, yeah, that's the one. This number 3 indicates that there is a new low level. And now this price bar is closed, so it should stay here. But when a new low level is formed, you can see that it just pushes down and down this number 3 and you get just new perfect low. And as you can see, now we have a new high forming, and these indicators just keep jumping from one price bar to another just to redraw itself, kind of repaint itself and show new heights and new lows. And this makes this indicator to look like it can detect perfect highs and perfect lows. You can see now, imagine if you can go short right there and just buy over there, and then short right over there and buy over there, and so on. But as you just saw previously, it just kept repainting itself, and if you just enter a trade, it will just keep going against you, and that indicator will no longer show what it was showing to you before. So those indicators are really bad things, and you just should avoid using them. Now let's get back to our presentation and a few more things. So also I want to explain that not all repainting indicators are actually bad indicators. So there are good and bad repainting indicators. So good repainting indicators are like fractals or zigzag, and they were not created to fool anyone. You just need to learn how they work and how to use them properly. Now, if creator of an indicator does not mention that it's repainting, it means it's a bad repainting indicator and you are likely to be fooled. Also, if indicator gives you entry signals which later disappear after price direction has changed, it means it is a bad repainting indicator as well. Because entry signals should not change when, once they are drawn on the chart. They should not disappear. Here's an example of a fractal indicator. So the fractal indicator is formed when it has this middle price bar and then two price bars on the left that are lower than the middle one, and two price bars on the right that are also lower than the middle one. Now, while we have these two price bars forming, they're kind of not fully formed, you can see the fractal already appear on the chart. But if these, for example, this price bar is forming and it will just go up, it will just ruin this pattern, and there will no longer be two lower bars, on the left and two lower bars on the right. And fractal indicator would disappear. But once you have this pattern fully formed and closed, then you will never see fractal disappear. So the same is with this short fractal, kind of fractal down, but it's just in opposite. So it should have two price bars on the left, which are higher than the middle one, and two price bars on the right, which are higher than the middle one as well. And once these 5 bars are fully formed, fractal will not disappear. So it's kind of repainting, but only at some level. But after this price pattern fully formed, it will not disappear. So once you know how it works and you treat it, accordingly, and you use it accordingly, it's actually a good indicator. And personally, I've had quite a lot of success in trading Forex using fractals all alone, basically. Now, how bad repainting indicators fool traders? So the first thing is that bad indicators will show perfect entry signals on history price bars, but in real trading, all false entry signals disappear later. Just like you saw in my presentation a moment ago on my MetaTrader, when those red and green arrows basically disappear when indicator see that it was a false entry signal, basically. Also, bad repainting indicators pretend that they perfectly predict support and resistance levels, and they can show that highs and lows just like with that another indicator showed you, but then they change them later if price forms a new high or low. And also, bad repainting indicators always use future data to calculate values. So basically the bars on the right of that entry signal. Now let me tell you how to verify if indicator is repainting or not. So you can use MetaTrader strategy tester like I did. You need to run a backtest of each selected indicator, and you need to use a low time frame to see the results faster. But if it's required for your indicator, you obviously need to use some other time frame. So I cannot tell you which time frame to use. You should try a few of them if it doesn't work on one of the time frames. But usually, just I just use 1 minute time frame, so just to get the new bars faster and just see if it's repainting or not. And if it's a non-repainting indicator, then values should remain unchanged after price bar closes. If it's a repainting indicator, values are replaced on already closed price bars. So that is bad, actually, in that case. And if we just take a quick look at our MetaTrader again, here's the strategy tester, and we can access it through the top menu, going to View and Strategy Tester right over here. And then we select indicator, and from this list we select which indicator we want to test. We select symbol and a period of 1 minute. If you want to get a very precise testing method, you use every tick. But if you want to make it faster, you can use control points or open prices. But because I'm using a special tick data software to test my, to run my backtest, I use every tick basically. Also make sure that you select a date range. I always select a date range of a few weeks to not, to not wait for ages until the data for it will be prepared. And I also use visual mode, and this thing right over there allows you to control the speed. So as you can see, if I executed that click start button, and I can control the speed how I want it. I can make it go fast or slow. So this is how you use strategy tester to backtest your indicators. And once you have some data, you can just plot these vertical lines on your signals that you received, and maybe horizontal line to mark where they were, and then just resume and look at those signals a bit later. And you can see that there was this number 3 was over there a moment ago, but now it just disappeared and it was plotted right over there. It just moved, jumped to another price bar because it formed a new low level. So this means this indicator is repainting. You can also take screenshots and compare them later, with the actual chart you see and so on, just to make it easier for you. Okay, so that's it. It's quite easy to backtest the indicator and see if it repaints or not. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy these presentations, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.